Meteorology forecast.
Right now it's 18.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 7 GW and online, WSGW.com.
And good morning to you. Welcome. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW Radio from my home studio. And the sun is out. Ooh. Temperatures are actually going to get a little warmer, too. We'll be up in the, probably upper 30s, maybe even to 40 degrees by midweek. Not going to last long, but it's going to be up there anyway. Good morning to you. We've got open lines from now till 11 o'clock. So literally whatever you'd like to chat about, you give us a call at Saginaw, Bay City, 752-6111. Toll free within the state of Michigan is 866-790-WSGW. If you're outside the state of Michigan, you can call 989-752-6111. Carriers, for the most part, they don't charge roaming and long distance anymore, so pretty much a free long-distance call. I remember the days when you used to pay by the minute for the long-distance calls, going back long before cell phones. I mean, when you had the old dial phones, and long-distance calls were expensive back then. So anyway, we have, let's see, a caller called and asked a question. A caller wondered if Rush is credited with saving radio. Will radio now suffer? Well, that's a very interesting question. Radio has done, as an industry, reasonably well, while other entertainment industries have not done as well. Over-the-air television has lost viewers to cable. Cable has lost viewers to satellite. Both of them have lost viewers to Netflix and various services like that, and now there's a plethora of plus services, Discovery Plus, Disney Plus, so forth, so on. Audio, there's been a loss to a degree to podcasts for radio, but in terms of radio suffering, there will, of course, be some, obviously, when you lose an icon like Rush Limbaugh was, and a man who talked to, tens of millions of people every week. Who's going to replace him? That becomes the question. A fair question, too, You don't like to talk about it this close to the passing of the icon himself, but it's reality. I can guarantee you that every general manager and every programmer of talk radio stations in the country that carried Rush, over 600 of them, are scratching their heads, wondering what the future holds. There are a number of issues that come into play. Contract. What does the contract say with the supplier of the program, the distributor of the Rush Limbaugh program? What does that contract say about requiring you to carry the program, even if they're a guest host or a replacement host, for that matter? And for what term is that contract? How long did you sign it for? Because, you may hear it on the radio and it's entertaining and you listen and all of that. Behind the scenes, there's a whole bunch of legalese, folks. Contracts everywhere. And the contracts don't necessarily deal with the personality as much as they deal with the spot content, the advertising. Because as a station carrying the Rush Limbaugh show, not only is there payment required, but there is also an obligation to carry a certain amount of commercial time associated with the program. So how long you signed for dictates how long you have to live up to it. Once you are out of the contract, then you as a programmer or manager are free to move on, choose whatever you want. Either stay with the new host, whoever that is, or find a different program with a different host that are available out there, and there are tons of them. And you move on. Will you suffer? Well, I guess that depends who you replace Rush with. Now, you can't replace him per se. There's never going to be another Rush. Rush was a unique individual. But can you find someone who can build an audience for you in your market? Well, yeah, you can. They're out there. So it really is too early to tell what the fallout from Rush's passing will be in terms of its impact on the radio industry. Now, despite the fact that Rush came along in '88 and was pretty much credited with, for example, saving AM radio. And understand AM radio, its audio quality is not the same as FM radio, so all the music was on the FM because you got it clear, it sounded great. AM didn't have that capability because of the technology. And AM radio over the years has begun to lose a lot of its luster, even though it had the talk personalities, and talk was what was keeping it alive for the most part. It was beginning to lose audience because it's the older generation that grew up with AM radio. The younger generation went to the FM and satellite and all of those things. And you have seen it even in this marketplace where we have combined our AM and FM signal. So the WSGW is on both 790 and 100.5 with the same programming, simulcast. And we were not the first to do this, folks. It's been happening all over the country. So, you know, if you are a licensee, if you own a product, a station, or you're an operator that owns a lot of stations, you have to look for the most efficient way to operate in today's climate and what makes sense. And so, you know, at a time when a lot of joint facilities were merging their signals, AM and FM, at least they had a Rush Limbaugh to present. Now that Rush has passed, it will be an interesting challenge for owners and programmers to come up with a suitable replacement. And again, nobody likes to talk about it 3 days, 4 days after the event. You know, we'd rather let his memory rest, if you will. But the reality is you can't do that. The reality is business goes on. Business doesn't stop because Rush passed. Operators of broadcasting stations have to keep operating 24/7. And so the talk is going on constantly. There's a lot of waiting to see what's going to happen. Right now they're doing kind of a combination program with a guest host and tidbits from Rush's past. And the question you hear asked all the time is, will there ever be another Rush? I doubt it. Now, will there be another icon, another popular radio personality nationally? Sure. Yeah, of course. Nothing is absolute. Nothing is forever. And in the same way that personalities come and go in local markets, personalities come and go in national markets. Rush was unique. He set out to have the biggest radio audience in the world, and he did. He succeeded. He had a unique way of doing things and presenting things, and garnered a huge, huge audience. It will take a very unique personality to, I don't want to say repeat that, but to garner the same kind of reaction from the public. It will be interesting to see, but nobody knows right now. It's wide open. I don't know if that answered the question or not. It was kind of windy, but that's the general way things are right now in radio. And we're going to take a break because one of the things we have to do as a radio station is continue to make money, obviously. That's it's all part of the business, you know. You can't operate if you don't have the income, and you don't have the income if you don't have the audience. It really is quite a dependent system, if you will. Let me take a moment to talk to you about Blue Cross Blue Shield. You know, when you choose Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan for your Medicare coverage, it's easy to get the care, tests, and treatment you need whenever you need them. When you need access to care, Blue Cross provides you with more options that work for every lifestyle. Schedule an appointment for a checkup or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. If you like to stay close to home, give the Blue Cross 24/7 nurse line a call or schedule a visit with a virtual doctor. Whenever you need assistance, Blue Cross will connect you with the information and the help that you need. With a Blue Cross Medicare plan, you'll never have to go without your medication. Their easy-to-use prescription drug plans allow you to refill and pick up your medications from your local pharmacy or have them delivered by mail. Get access to the care you need as soon as you need it with Blue Cross, the company that more than 500,000 people in Michigan trust for their Medicare coverage. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, confidence comes with every card. See what other members are saying at bcbsm.com/seniorcare. We'll be back right after these notes.
While we've been staying safe at home, scientists have been on a journey. The destination, a COVID-19 vaccine. This journey began decades ago with research into other coronaviruses. Scientists built from there with months of research and development, cooperation with other experts worldwide, and clinical trials on tens of thousands of volunteers of diverse race, age, and health status. They arrived at a safe, effective vaccine, and hundreds of thousands have been vaccinated. But the next step is ours. We need to get the vaccine when we can. Keep wearing masks correctly and taking precautions until we reach our destination, freedom from COVID-19 and getting back to the lives we love. Discover the facts for yourself at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. You should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/news. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. /free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Pfizer shares are higher after Israeli researchers reported a single shot of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine can be 85% effective. CVS Health says it will contact Americans living in underserved communities to help them schedule appointments for the COVID-19 vaccine. It will call, email, and text message people and will also hold vaccination caravans into neighborhoods. Newell is encouraged about the coming months and expects this year's back-to-school business to get back to normal. Newell makes the Sharpie, Crazy Glue, and Papermate brands. Its chief executive, Ravi Saligram, tells MarketWatch he thinks schools will open going into the fall, and with the vaccine rollout, the company is hopeful. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
President Biden says he will defeat the NRA, and now the NRA is fighting back. All this week, Newsfield tells the real story about Biden and the NRA. Watch Stinchfield at 8 p.m. Eastern on Newsmax TV. It's on all major cable systems. Check your guide or call them. Tell them you want Newsmax. And download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone or smart TV and watch us now. 30 million Americans watch Newsmax. You should too.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Northeastern Paint Supply invites you to listen to the WSGW Art Lewis, weekday mornings from 11 to 11:30. You'll hear local business and community leaders. Sponsored by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City.
All right. Back with you here on WSGW. The Art Lewis Show. Lines wide open for you. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to ask this question anyway. Since that caller called in and asked about Rush and will radio suffer, and we talked about, the mechanics of replacing someone like a Rush Limbaugh. Let me ask you this question. Whom would you like to see in that time slot? Because radio stations all over the country now, assuming they carried the live and not tape-delayed Rush, have a time slot open from noon to 3 Eastern Time. They have to fill those 3 hours. Eventually, either with whomever the distributor replaces Rush with, or with someone totally from another realm, another distributor. So, of all the people out there, and there are tons in radio right now, some aren't, whom would you like to see do a talk show? We have Mark in Gladwin with us this morning. Mark, good morning.
Morning, Art. How are you today?
We're doing well, thanks.
I would say Mark Stein would make a great replacement on the Rush Limbaugh program. He's witty. I think he's...
Yeah, he's done it too. I mean, he's been the, for the most part, the go-to replacement. There have been others, but he has done quite a number of them. So Mark Stein, I'm going to make a list. I want to make a list and keep track of it, because it'll be interesting to see down the road how it actually ends up.
Sure. I think the word of the day for Ted Cruz is bad optics.
Yeah, you think? You think? Yeah, that was not the smartest thing Ted Cruz ever did, leaving Texas when everybody else was suffering. That was a bad choice.
Well,
his wife could have gone down there with the daughters, and he didn't have to go.
Right, he put it on his daughters, and then you see him out in the parking lot with the luggage, carrying luggage. So you're just going to waste $80 to fly your kids down there in luggage fees? I don't believe the story, to be honest with you. I think he just went, just like a lot of people would like to do.
Well, he
went. Bad optics.
He went and intended to stay through the weekend, but the bad optics caught up with him. And he turned around and came home because he realized he made a mistake.
Yeah, the more times he tells the story, it does change a little bit, but he did say it was because he was dropping his daughters off down in Cancun.
Which, of course, his wife could have done that without him very easily.
Absolutely.
She's down there with him.
Absolutely.
So
See, I beat up Republicans, too.
Good. There we go, Mark. Equal opportunity. That's what I like.
There you go.
Yeah, me too.
All righty, sir.
Take care. Bye-bye now. And let's go to Munger. We'll talk to Lori in Munger. Lori, good morning.
Good morning. I would love to see Dave Ramsey back on in that time slot.
All right, Dave Ramsey. Of course, Dave Ramsey is still with us on the weekends.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, listen, I'll put it down. Dave Ramsey, you're a Dave Ramsey fan, huh?
I am. And another thing about Texas, my husband and I was talking about this last night. Do they send out any public service announcements to advise them to turn their faucets on when it gets that cold so
I don't know.
the pipes don't freeze up?
I don't know. That's an interesting question because we're so used to it up here. I never thought of it down there. They are so unused to that kind of deep freeze. That's an interesting question. Apparently, I would say apparently not. Because of the number of burst pipes and everything.
Well, because their codes are completely different. Everything's the ceilings. There is no basement.
That's right. Everything is exposed. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So, maybe code would be to wrap the pipes, from now on, and then a public service announcement for things that gets that cold. So, hey, turn your faucet on and let it drip, because that's what we do up here.
Should have. Yep.
Yeah. I guess they're very unprepared.
Well, they are, because they don't see it that often. Once in a blue moon, but you still have to be prepared for the worst, don't I? And I think that's the lesson that's going to come out of this, is a lot of those southern states are going to reevaluate their preparedness for such weather events.
Yeah, they're not used to Michigan weather.
That's right. That's right. And now they got a taste of it. So they won't make fun of us anymore.
That's true. No. I wonder how many coats that they ran out of winter coats and hats and down there.
Yeah.
When this all started, I'm like, I wonder if they even have any in stock down there.
Yeah, I do think, though, that a lot of people in Texas, it does chill once in a while. Not like this, but I suspect that most people down there have some type of warm outer garment. That I don't think is as big a problem as the other ones you've identified with the water dripping and just being prepared. So it'd be interesting to see. I don't think their code will change to wrap pipes, but who knows? They're gonna have to do a lot of reassessment now. First thing they got to reassess is their electrical grid and how it functioned.
Absolutely, yes. It's not federally regulated. My understanding is what I've been seeing on the news is that they're the only one in the country that are not federally regulated.
Yep, they go alone. They have their own E-Court, I think it's called, or something like that. So, all right, good enough. I got you down for Ramsey.
Thank you, Art.
Thanks, Lori.
Okay,
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111, toll-free, 866-790. WSGW. We'll take a quick break. Come back. We'll get to Mike and Shields when we return.
The all-new Halo LED is the industry's first LED in-duct whole-home air purification system that's both mercury-free and zero ozone compliant. The Halo LED treats all air-conditioned space, reducing airborne and surface contaminants and pollutants. It's easily mounted into the HVAC air duct and wired to your furnace for seamless operation. The Halo LED was independently lab-tested to reduce 97% of airborne bacteria, including mold, 99.9% of surface bacteria and viruses, and will kill 99% of microbes in a human sneeze within 3 feet. Best of all, the Halo LED has successfully proven to kill 99% of flu germs on surfaces. Not only will the Halo LED save you to reduce odors, particulates, smoke, and chemical VOCs. Call Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning today to speak with someone about how Halo LED can significantly help your indoor quality. #GotFlu.
Any way you spell it, Reamer means quality.
When it comes to finances, does it ever feel like you're all alone with lots of questions and too few answers? Maybe it's time to find a credit union home, excited about working together with you through life, where you belong, and connect with local folks who know you as more than an account number, who answer your questions before you even ask, and are passionate about your possibilities, flexible about changing and growing right alongside you. trustworthy, like a friend or neighbor. Belonging at Wildfire Credit Union means your money stays right in your own backyard, helping to build this community so we all live fully. Or business looking for a place that truly cares about people, relationships, and community more than money, we welcome you to join Wildfire. You belong here. Together. Let's do this. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. A Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 6677 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 6677. Enjoy.
Ready to go? Like now?
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Kelly, room 2 needs to be
Like at Dr. Moore's dermatology practice. To keep pace with new patients, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And welcome back. The Art Lewis Show for this Friday morning. Continuing on with our calls. Mike is in Shields. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I know this guy isn't and hasn't been on for a while, but I'd like to hear Dennis Miller again. He's a conservative, Hollywood type, but he was excellent speaker, and so I'd like to hear him, but I don't know if he even do it anymore.
Oh, I don't either. I mean, he's the reason that we don't carry him because he decided to stop doing it. He didn't.
Yeah.
He all of a sudden just quit, and
I
he
know.
left a lot of stations in a lurch because of it. But I agree. I liked him. I liked listening to Dennis. I thought he was pretty good, and he had a lot of good humor and all of that. The other guy that quit radio, the other guy that quit doing a talk show, although he still comes back now with his updates, is Bill O'Reilly. He quit talk radio too. He just left it. So whether these guys come back or not, I don't know whether they will because I think they made their own decisions. But I'll put you down. Dennis Miller, good choice.
Okay, you were talking about cold weather in Texas. I was stationed down there in December of '61, and I can remember in San Antonio, it was the coldest it had ever had been in recorded history.
Really?
Only for a couple of days, though. It got cold, and then all of a sudden it was just fine weather,
Yeah.
But
doesn't happen often.
Good luck. No, it doesn't. But good luck to those people.
Yeah. All right.
Imagine. Take care, my friend.
Take care, Mike. Take care, Mike. Bye now. In Bay City, we find Rachel this morning. Rachel, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, Art.
Good morning.
That gal who called earlier and said Dave Ramsey back in that time slot.
Yep.
I think that's probably a great idea because when you guys switched him out to 10 at night, I thought, oh, shoot, geez, all those people who are doing, and, that's kind of going to knock a lot of people out of even just being able, to listen or tune in because 10 till 1 in the morning is not that there's anything wrong with that. And, I mean, he's terribly popular, I know, but yet staying up 10 till 1 in the morning, I felt bad for his regulars. I always chose Rush over him, although I like him a lot, too.
All right, well,
so I think that was,
for Ramsey's, and listen,
Yeah.
that's not, for us, that would be an easy choice because we already have the contract. We already have it. Now, again, we have to worry about what the contract says from Rush's distributors. But it's certainly, a possibility.
Yeah, I must say, too, though, I'm here and Glenn Beck fan. If he's still available, I'd love to hear him on during the day too.
Who's that?
Glenn Beck.
Oh, Glenn Beck.
Yeah.
I don't know what that availability. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What he's doing anymore.
Sure. Just throw.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Very good. Got you down.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111, toll free, 866-790. WSGW, the question on the table. Fair question is going to have to be answered at some point. Whom do you want to hear on that noon to 3 time slot now that Rush has passed? And I have to tell you, obviously this was not a surprise. I mean, the exact date it was going to happen was a surprise. But broadcasters all around the country knew this day was coming. Yet, you can't really be prepared for it because even though you know it's coming, you don't know what the follow-up is going to be. You don't know what the distributor is going to offer. You really don't have any idea. So while this is one of those deals where you knew it was coming, and you also knew there was absolutely nothing you could do about it right away. Let's talk to Aaron in Bay City. Aaron, good morning.
I was listening to Mark Levin last night at 6 o'clock. He mentioned that the turbines aren't properly set up in Texas for this cold weather. Gentleman, electrician, he said that's the problem. If it would have been the right turbines, then
yeah, they got more problems than just the turbines.
Yeah, something to do with the turbines. But he did defend Ted Cruz because he said he was getting blamed for that because of the fact of faulty turbines. But anyway, there's some suggestions. I don't know how Lou Dobbs is doing. If he'd have any kind of commentary like that. But Mark Levin, you see, the trouble is with him, he's on at 6 o'clock in the evening, so you'd have to really juggle your programming around to get him on. He's on from the 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock slot.
Okay.
But he's going to. So they said he'd be. He'd be back Monday. He didn't.
Yeah, all right.
But everybody's just kind of going by the wayside. The old graybeards is just hard to find them anymore.
Well, it's
like. Hang in there, Art. Maybe you can fill it in.
Not going to happen.
You could do it.
Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Thanks, Aaron.
Okay,
Take care. Bye-bye. Let's talk to Joe in Bay City. Joe, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you doing today?
We're doing all right.
Beautiful. Hey, I'm looking at this 3 hours of something a little bit different. I always try to look outside the box every now and then. Instead of one person for 3 hours, maybe three persons. I have a list here that I think would be great candidates. I will say this about Dave Ramsey. I think he does a great job, but quite frankly, he's a one-trick pony. Unless you're really into finances and things like that.
Right.
I mean, it's you know what you're going to get for 3 hours.
Yeah. However, having said that, at the same time, you also have to remember that he is the number 3 talk show in the country. Rush was number 1, Hannity was number 2, and Ramsey was number 3.
I never knew that.
Yep.
That surprises me.
Huge. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. Well, anyway, he wouldn't be my first choice. I mean,
what would be your first choice? If I said, pick somebody.
If it was one person for 3 hours, I would go with. I'm a big Bill O'Reilly fan.
Okay. That's fair.
Mark Stein, he does a good job. Even a couple other ones. Forget his first name. I like him a lot when he comes on. But if I had my choice, maybe somebody fresh, like maybe a Ben Shapiro. I think he's young and well-spoken. I think he'd be a great choice.
Listen, it may be that there's somebody new on the horizon that comes along. We don't know. Don't know.
And I'm with the other guy that called. Matter of fact, when he was talking about Dennis Miller, as I was ranking out my list, I was putting his name down at the same time. And I really enjoyed him because, he covered everything. Politics, sports, and he was humor. He had everything going for him.
Yep.
So I would love to see him on a time slot again. But if you want to stir things up a little bit, How about Candace Owens, the black gal? She's very outspoken. She's a conservative.
Yeah.
I mean, she'd probably be too much out of the box to probably most.
You never know. Never know. All righty. Hey, listen, good enough. Joe, I appreciate it.
Okay, those are my choices.
Appreciate
I'd be
it.
happy with any of them.
Thanks for calling.
Okay.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll get to Craig in Sanford. When we return, I want to talk about pickup trucks because you know we're in love with them. And if you don't believe it, just go look at any highway or any street and count the number of pickup trucks that are out there. Like one that I'm driving now from Thalen Ram in Bay City. I've got a Ram 1500 Bighorn Quad Cab 4x4. And what a fabulous truck. It's engineered to give you lots of confidence when you drive in any road condition. And I found that the other day heading up to Krzyzak's for Fat Tuesday at 4:30 in the morning, and I had lots of confidence in that vehicle. No compromises in capability, technology, in comfort, luxury. Also, remember that the Ram truck has class-leading features and class-exclusive features. There's a Ram truck for you out there, and you can go visit the inventory of Thalen Ram truck on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Pick out the Ram truck you'd like to have, take it for a test drive, then sit down with a Thalen Ram representative and come to terms on buying or leasing a new Ram truck. Remember that Thalen searches the market for the lowest price on their new and used vehicles. That's the price they pass on to you because it's the right thing to do. Visit them online at thinkthalen.com. We'll be back after these notes.
How about more results and less rhetoric? That's how we feel at Channel. We won't fill your head with some catchy slogan or jingle. Instead, our local seedsman will improve your yield potential acre by acre. Haley Peterson will help guide your field from planting to harvest and work with your conditions so that you get the most out of our elite seed products. No flashy promotions. Talk to Haley Peterson to get advice that yields results.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then try Babbel. Text TRY to 64,000 and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just text TRY to 64,000 to start learning a new language today. That's TRY to 64,000. TRY to 64,000.
What's in store this week at Staples?
A big deal on ink that's kind of a big deal.
Prepare your business for a big year with everything you need to be organized and productive.
The latest tech and office essentials like paper, ink, and toner, all at amazing prices.
And now at Staples, you'll earn 40% back in rewards when you spend $85 on ink or $200 on toner.
Set your business up for success and save at Staples. Ends 2/2021. In-store only. Visit staples.com/40 and rewards for details.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for a $20 gift certificate to King's Fish and More for only $10. That's right, you're getting it half off. King's Fish and More is open Tuesday through Sunday and has such an eclectic menu, you're sure to find something that you love. Like the Eddie King Burger, their Southern Raised Catfish, or my personal favorites, the ribs. Do yourself Plus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Now they want to silence every conservative, but not apply the standards to themselves, and they're getting big tech to do it.
The Sean Hannity Show.
But I've been warning everybody. This has been building now.
Sean Hannity.
We'll have, calls for violent rhetoric by Democrats. Everybody ignores it.
The Sean Hannity Show.
Trump says to march peacefully and patriotically. I'll impeach him again. This is a really scary time.
Sean Hannity, weekdays at 3 on WSGW.
And we're back with you here on WSGW. Back to our phones on the Art Lewis Show. Craig is in Sanford. Craig, good morning.
Good morning. I'd like to hear Paul Harvey back on there for about 15 minutes every day around noon, and then put Mark Stein on there.
So Mark Stein, well, Paul Harvey isn't going to happen because Paul Harvey isn't.
Well, I mean, reruns.
Oh, I
Reruns.
see, yeah. And Mark Stein would be a choice for you. Good. Yeah, he has...
Absolutely.
Does a good job.
He's very passionate. He has the same attitude as Rush, but he doesn't. He's not as funny. He is very passionate when he speaks.
Yep. All right. Mark Stein. Very good.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Craig. Have a good day.
Yep,
Bye-bye
bye.
now. Al is in Midland. Al, good morning.
Good morning, Arthur. I'd like to see Tom Sullivan come back.
Aha. Waiting for somebody to say that one.
Yeah, nobody said that yet, have they?
No. But that would... I have to tell you that that
you don't
would
have
be
a contract with.
That would be my first choice. If
You
I had
guys
a
don't have a
choice.
contract with him, though.
Well, that's not. Don't worry about that. That's not difficult.
Okay.
As long as he's not on another station in your market, contracts are out there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true. But he was pretty even-keeled. Not a lot of humor, but that's okay. I mean, he was more of a Bill Riley type.
I fought for Tom Sullivan when all this was going on, but I lost.
I loved listening to him. I not called back since he's been off, telling you that I miss him, but I do. I miss him.
Yeah, I do too. I like Tom.
Good guy.
Yep. And you know what's really, it's not funny about it, but it's true. He is on the air right now in some ways because of WSGW. What happened was that his original distributor of his program dropped him, and Dave Maurer at our station called him up, talked to him, and told him about another distributor. He went to that distributor and was picked up by that distributor and continued his program.
Okay.
So we have a connection, if you will.
Okay, but a different market?
Well, no, this was when he was on the air with us. This was back a couple of years ago, several years ago.
Okay.
And so I have a soft spot for Tom Sullivan. I'm in your boat. I'm in your camp on that one.
Very, very good guy. Loved listening to him. Real.
He had a
down to earth.
Yeah, he had that common sense approach that I like.
He did. He had a lot of common sense. Thank you, Arthur.
Thank you,
Have
Al.
a nice weekend, sir.
You too. Bye-bye now. And let's go to Hemlock, and we'll talk to Carol this morning. Carol, good morning to you.
Good morning. I have a question. Why does this person who's going to replace Rush have to be a political person?
Because that's the nature of the show. It doesn't.
your radio
nothing. Just a minute now. Just a minute. When you say the person replacing Rush, if you're talking about the syndicator that will have that choice, it will be. I can almost guarantee you it will be political.
No,
if you
but
talk
in your
about,
station.
Well, again, it depends on the contracts we have with Rush as a distributor and syndicator. If the contract doesn't allow us to get out right away, then we take what they give us. If we can make a choice, then it doesn't have to be. It could be something else, but remember, it's got to be something else that garners an audience.
Right.
So,
but, it seems like your radio station has gotten so political anymore. All your stations in the afternoon are political, and some of us people would have rather something else.
Yeah, well, I understand that. And also understand, Carol, that as a programmer, you can't please everyone all the time.
I understand that.
And the other thing about it, too, is the other thing that tends to get overlooked is we're a business.
Right, I understand that.
And, you make the selections based on what's going to bring in the dollars. And when you can capture the number 1, 2, and 3 talk shows in the country, that's a pretty good choice,
Right. I understand that, but it's just something to think about.
No, it is. Indeed, it is. It is, and I'll write it down.
I know a lot of viewers or listeners that I've talked to don't listen in the afternoon anymore because we're sick of it.
Yeah, non-political. I'll write it down, and I just did.
Yep.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you, Carol. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. Our last break this hour, then we'll be back to close out the hour, but we'll continue open phones into the next hour.
Small business owners don't have the patience for nonsense, especially when it comes to their internet provider. They want the best services for the best price. Simply put, that's Spectrum Business. They give you great value, zero nonsense. Just call 833-919-2121. You'll get fast, reliable internet and phone with no contracts and no hidden fees, all for a price that could cut your bill in half. Spectrum Business. Call today, 833-919-2121.
Hey, my name is James, and the little thing I love about Deluxe is the first bite, you get a little kick of spice, and then that cilantro and lime sauce that kind of balances things out. Just delicious.
Hey, I'm Amber. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A new Grilled Spicy Deluxe is how well all of the ingredients complement each other. It's so good. I like bob my head side to side, dancing while I eat.
Chick-fil-A's Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich, available for a limited time only. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the award-winning and revolutionary online learning program that's changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
One-on-one teacher, it has helped her so much.
Designed by teachers and early childhood learning experts, ABC Mouse seamlessly aligns with what your child is already learning in school. And with over 7,000 learning activities and more than 650 lessons, it's the most comprehensive early learning site on earth.
I have been teaching for 13 years, and I've never seen a program like ABC Mouse. It encompasses science, math, reading, social studies.
It's just endless what they can learn on ABC Mouse. I've always had to use 20 websites, and now I can just use one.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month. But you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. /radio, abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
News coverage.
What happened on January 6th?
The trial against Donald John Trump.
The gravest charges ever brought against a president of the United States.
President Trump.
News coverage.
No longer is in office. Former presidents cannot be removed.
News. Talk around the clock.
There was method in the madness that day.
News coverage on W.
And that'll do it for this hour, the Art Lewis Show. Again, we'll be back with more open phones for the next hour, so join us for that. News coming up at the top of the hour. CBS will bring you the international and the national news. We'll have the local report to bring you up to date on the Great Lakes Bay region and the state of Michigan. And then I will be back with lots more here on WSGW. Talk to you right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw. WSGW-FM, Carlton. This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. This winter can't be over soon enough for people who live in the South and the Southwest. Correspondent Cammie McCormick begins with post-storm Texas. There are shortages in grocery stores struggling to restock in Texas, reminding people,
Try your best not to panic shop.
truckers are facing gas shortages and dangerous roads.
I'm sitting on a load right now that I've been sitting on for 6 days.
And motorists are finding short supplies of gasoline.
If you don't have to be out on the road, don't use.
In Jackson, Mississippi, there are water shortages. Even distribution places are running out.
It must have not been a whole lot of water for it to run out that fast.
And at Memphis Airport, flights were canceled due to low water pressure there. CBS News confirms dozens of officers are under investigation in last month's deadly riot at the U.S. Capitol. 6 have been suspended without pay. 35 are under investigation. After a one-day weather delay, President Biden flies to Michigan today to visit a vaccine manufacturing facility. CBS's Stephen Portnoy.
The president's expected to meet with workers at Pfizer's largest production facility. The plant in Portage, Michigan, serves as the main production. Last week, Mr. Biden announced the government would purchase another 100 million more of those shots, along with an equal number of doses from Moderna.
The federal judge whose son was gunned down in their New Jersey home says the FBI uncovered information the shooter was also targeting Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. Esther Salas tells CBS's 60 Minutes.
Judges are at risk. We need to understand that we put ourselves in great danger every day for doing our jobs.
Newly released video provides new detail on the moment before police shot and killed a homeless man south of L.A. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti.
The deputies wrestle Reinhold to the ground, and the sheriff's department claims a deputy could be heard yelling, "He's got my gun," before one of them opens fire.
An investigation is underway. Still worried about getting the coronavirus from what you eat? CBS's Jim Krasula.
It's food for thought. There's no evidence that COVID-19 can spread packaging, according to experts with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. They emphasize that coronavirus is a respiratory illness that is spread from person to person, unlike norovirus or hepatitis A that often sicken people through contaminated food.
Fast food fans say it's no time to take away favorites.
We're celebrating the season with our chicken tortellini Alfredo.
Hundreds have signed a Change.org petition urging chains to bring back comfort foods they've taken off pandemic menus because of longer prep times. This is CBS News.
Indeed delivers great candidates fast. In fact, Indeed delivers 4 times more hires than all other job sites combined, according to Talent Nest. More at Indeed.com/credit.
What makes fast cash from the Michigan Lottery so thrilling? The progressive jackpot that keeps building with every ticket sold all day long. From the moment you wake up, the jackpot's building. And while you're in the shower, it's still building. It's still building until jackpot, a winner right on the spot. The fun keeps building with Fast Cash, only from the Michigan Lottery. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/news. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter. To hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's O-Rewards Bonus Points Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts, which means you'll save money and reach your next reward even faster. Earn double O-Rewards points on 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil, just $28.95, and get a $10 gift card after mail-in rebate. Collect 150 points and get a $5 reward. Don't miss O-Rewards Bonus Points Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 18 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Emily. State House Republicans in Michigan's restaurant industry are turning up the heat on Governor Whitmer's COVID orders. The state recently extended the 10 p.m. curfew and 25% capacity limits through March 29th. The State House Oversight Committee heard testimony from restaurant owners saying their business has been devastated by executive orders lawmakers call burdensome. Margie Cheadle of the Michigan Licensed Beverage Association told the panel she expects up to 10% of the state's bars and restaurants to close permanently. DTE Energy is proposing a rate increase to its natural gas customers. WSGW's Michael Percha reports.
The energy company has asked the Michigan Public Services Commission for an 11% increase equaling about $195 million a year. The increase would affect some customers in Clare, Gladwin, Gratiot, Isabella, Iosco, Ogama, and Roscommon counties. The request comes at a time when Michiganders are dealing with increased bills due to low temperatures as more natural gas is used to heat homes. Poverty Task Force also shows around 43% of Michigan residents are struggling to pay for basic necessities like food, water, and shelter. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel will investigate the request to argue against any unreasonable rate increase which provides no benefit to customers. Nessel says even small monthly increases in a customer's bill can have a negative impact on a family's budget. Michael Percha, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time is coming up on 10:07.
When it comes to finances, does it ever feel like you're all alone with lots of questions and too few answers? Maybe it's in home, excited about working together with you through life, where you belong, and connect with local folks who know you as more than an account number, who answer your questions before you even ask, and are passionate about your possibilities, flexible about changing and growing right alongside you, trustworthy like a friend or neighbor. Belonging at Wildfire Credit Union means your money stays right in your own backyard, helping to build this community so we all live fully. If you're an individual or business looking for a place that truly cares about people, relationships, and community more than money, we welcome you to join Wildfire. Together, let's do this. Wildfire Credit Union, distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
WSGW News Time is 10:07. A girl reported missing February 9th was last seen in Thomas Township. Police say 14-year-old Cheyenne Serba was reported as a runaway from Holy Cross Children's Services. She left the area with another girl who has been located and returned. Cheyenne is described as 5'3", 115 pounds with blue eyes and brown hair. She was last seen wearing a green army coat with fur, a hooded sweatshirt, and sweatpants. If you have any information about her, 781-1300. The City of Midland has launched a new podcast to talk about all things related to the upcoming Buttle Street redesign and reconstruction, with its first episode dropping yesterday afternoon. Episodes of Word on the Street, co-hosted by Communications Coordinator Katie Geyer and Director of Planning and Community Development Grant Marshall, will explore the future of the Buttles and Indian Corridor Improvement Project, bringing on city staff and road design experts as guests. Topics will include recent updates on the project's progress, public input opportunities, and discussions of the design and vision for the corridor moving forward. New episodes will be Thursday of every month on the City of Midland YouTube channel. The head of Michigan's unemployment agency tells lawmakers she's working to fight fraud within the system. Here's more from John Hewitt at the Michigan News Network.
Saying the state of Michigan has processed some 3.5 million unemployment claims since the pandemic began nearly 1 year ago. Lisa Estlund Olson, the acting director of the Michigan Unemployment Insurance Agency, told lawmakers the state could end up paying hundreds of millions of dollars in bogus claims.
This historical demand was coupled with criminal attacks on unemployment systems nationwide. Federal law enforcement warned criminal ring exploiting the COVID-19 crisis.
Testifying virtually before the Senate Economic and Small Business Development Committee, Olson says unemployment agency staff has been increased five-fold in an effort to better process legitimate claims while combating corruption.
That was John Hewitt reporting. A top aide to Republican Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey is leaving that post for a new job in Democratic State Attorney General Dana Nessel's office. Amber McCann, Shirkey's Deputy Chief of Staff and Press Secretary, will start as Special Projects Director in the department's Public Information and Education Office. McCann was also spoken to two previous Senate Majority Leaders. When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom, 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We have a slight chance for snow, otherwise a mixture of clouds and sunshine as temperatures warm into the upper 20s. West-northwest winds 5 to 10. Chance for snow lingering early tonight. Cloudy skies, 12 for your low. We'll have lingering clouds early Saturday, but sunshine into the afternoon, 26 for a high. 7 above Saturday night. Few high clouds. Sunday, chance for snow in the afternoon. 30 degrees, and south-southeast winds gusting in the 20s. Monday, cloud cover, high of 35 degrees. And staff meteorologist Mandy Thalhuber with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently 21 degrees.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And good morning to you again. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show. Open phones for this hour. Again, our numbers are 752-6111, 686-790 WSGW. That puts you in touch with us, as a couple of folks have already. Continuing the conversation from last hour, we were talking about whom do you replace Rush Limbaugh with? Replace is a tough word because you're never going to replace him, but somebody has to fill the slot eventually. And we had a number of guesses last hour, a number of choices, I should say, and more to come. So let's go back to our phones. In Bay City, we find Joanne this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. It's good to talk to you.
Same here.
Thank you. I'd like to say I really like that Stein man.
Mark Stein.
Yeah. I mean, I've listened. A couple of the others were good, too, that filled in for Rush. But Stein, he's got that, gusto and, like Rush did. And Miss can really take the place, but I really like Stein. And the reason, too, is because, we've heard him all this time. We've heard him fill in. He's familiar. I think we need someone familiar who knew what Rush and everything. And I'm for him. And then the other thing I'd like to say is I love the sound of Rush's voice. I loved how he talked and what he talked about, but I loved the sound of his voice. And I especially loved when the little kids would call in.
Yeah.
It, like, melted your heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love those.
Well, those are the things that won't
serious.
be. Those are the things that won't be replaced.
Right,
those are the things we lose.
Yeah, I love those, and I love the way he nicknamed people.
Yeah.
And he had two sayings that he said that were my dad's sayings, and I do. And one of them was, what in Sam Hill?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm nervous. I'm trying to remember the other one. Oh, for crying out loud. But,
yeah.
I miss him terrible. I mean, I knew we knew he was sick, but, when I said...
Well,
so
we move forward, though. Life is precious. And we all face the same end. But during life, you move on, and you have to. You don't have any choice. So we'll see what happens, though. But I've got you down for Mark Stein on the top of the list.
Thank you very much. It's good to talk to you. Have a great day.
Same here, Joanne. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Had a message on our video stream here. Tom Sullivan, Todd Herman is another one who fills in for Rush, would be her top choices. She mentions Dennis Miller doesn't do talk anymore, which we said earlier. But he does do a podcast, which is interesting, and a lot of people are moving to that. And she also mentioned Joe Pags. So there we go. Let's talk to Paul in Saginaw. Paul, good morning.
Morning, Art. Staying on your topic here, I'll give you three names that have the voice, the delivery, and the conservative content, but I know all three won't take it, and they won't be offered the job. And then I'll give you a tag team.
Well, let's get the names. Let's give me the names first. Let's start with that.
Okay. The first three names are Bill O'Reilly, Larry Kudlow, and Michael Savage. And they're all controversial.
Yeah.
I don't think none of them
all have their own
will
thing.
get the job.
Well, and they all have their own thing. So they're already under contract to some distributor. So their shows are available. Okay. That would not be a replacement in terms of the current syndicator replacing Rush. That would be another show you could obtain if you wanted it.
Right.
So that's the way that works.
Right. Well, here's my tag team. Actually, I got two tag teams. I'll give you the first one, and then I'll give you the last one, which is the one I really like the most. The first tag team would be Laura Ingraham and Raymond Arroyo.
Okay.
Raymond Arroyo does a lot of funny impersonations, and Laura Ingraham has the voice delivery, conservative content. But
yeah, but
here's
she
my
got
best
out.
one.
She got out of radio like so many others, so she's not available, and I don't know that she'd take it. So that's
She's not in radio no more?
No. So
Wow.
that's one. Well, because some of them, reach a point where they can't do everything.
Right. Well, my tag team was the last one would be if she was still in radio, would be Laura Ingraham and Dana Carvey. Because he does a lot of funny impersonations.
Carvey would be interesting. I mean, that's good. He used to do stuff with Miller once in a while, and
right.
He's a funny man, no doubt about it. That would be an interesting.
Right. And
that would be interesting on a number of areas. And listen, I'm not against tag teams. We've got certainly the ability to put something like that on if it were available and if it made sense and if it was good. You got to make sure it's also good. It can't just be
right.
It's got to be pretty good programming. So, all right, interesting. Good enough, Paul.
Okay.
Thanks
a lot.
Bye now.
All right.
And let's talk to Mary in Saginaw. Mary, good morning.
Hi, Art. How are you?
We're doing fine, thanks. Hope you are.
I'm doing great. Okay, I would vote for Tom Sullivan. We truly miss him.
Yeah.
And he would pose questions, and you'd get the feel of how the whole country felt because he had so many phone calls that would come in.
Well, he was, while he leaned to the right, and I say I do too, he was more of a centrist. I mean, he did look at things in common sense terms. If Republicans did something he didn't like, he'd say so. If Democrats did something he didn't like, he'd say so. And I think that's the way it has. That's my philosophy. That's why I liked him so much. And again, he's on the top of my list.
Good.
If I had to choose, which I don't get to, if I had to choose, that would be my choice.
Yes, and there were frequent calls from Saginaw.
Oh yeah,
Midland.
Oh, absolutely.
So, we truly miss him. And then if I could just put in my 2 cents about Dave Ramsey.
Sure.
I think middle of the night is the perfect spot for him because it's really just a 3-hour infomercial. He's trying to sell his products. I think a lot of your listeners probably are. I'm not going to start baby steps at this point. And there's too much scandal surrounding his company.
Well,
it's run like a cult. Chris Hogan and his affairs, and he doesn't.
All right, I'm not going to get. We're not going to get into all of that.
Right.
But the bottom line is, he still has the number 3 talk show in the country. Period.
Yeah, I hear that.
You can say what you want. You don't have to like him, but somebody does.
Yeah.
So,
okay, and one other comment is as far as the people, the hosts that just talk for 3 hours about that kind of gets old. So that's the only concern.
All right, good enough.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Mary. Bye-bye now.
Yep, bye-bye.
And before we take a break, let's go to Hemlock, and we'll talk to Bill this morning. Bill, good morning.
Good morning. Going back to Tom Sullivan.
All right. Well, I'll put you down for Sullivan and Beck. Okay.
Yep, and I'm a Republican. I voted for Trump the first time, but not the second time. And I've been listening to Rush since '88, but the last 10 years or so, I couldn't listen to him. And I'm like a lot of other people that didn't call in. I am glad he is gone. Thank you. Goodbye.
All right, we'll leave that there. And that'll, I was waiting. I knew somebody would say that. We're going to take a break, and then we will be back with more here on the Art Lewis Show. Lines wide open for you. We'll be back.
While we've been staying safe at home, scientists have been on a journey. The destination, a COVID-19 vaccine. This journey began decades ago with research into other coronaviruses. Scientists built from there with months of research and development, cooperation with other experts worldwide, and clinical trials on tens of thousands of volunteers of and health status. They arrived at a safe, effective vaccine, and hundreds of thousands in Michigan have already been vaccinated. But the next step is ours. We need to get the vaccine when we can. Keep wearing masks correctly and taking precautions until we reach our destination. Freedom from COVID-19 and getting back to the lives we love. Discover the facts for yourself at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
According to the National Institutes of Health, 30% of hospital admissions are drug-related, like taking meds at the wrong time. Hero Health simplifies medication management. The smart device stores up to 90 days worth of up to 10 different pills. It dispenses them at the push of a button. Try Hero risk-free for 30 days and get free contactless delivery. Just call 800-420-7550. That's 800-420-7550. 800-420-7550. Hero, medication managed.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened higher. Deere & Company shares are rallying. The farm and construction equipment maker reported a jump in its profit in the recent quarter and says it sees improving conditions. Walgreens says it will receive a weekly allocation of more than 480,000 COVID-19 starting next Thursday. Pfizer shares are getting a boost from an Israeli study that says one shot of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine can be 85% effective. Uber Technologies is dealing with another ruling against its attempt to classify drivers as independent contractors. The top court in the United Kingdom has ruled that Uber drivers there are entitled to a minimum wage and other benefits. And Roku shares are rallying after it made a profit in the holiday quarter. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Finding great, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
Pass in the slot, a shot taken, a save made, and the Wings score right out in front. Oh, the Red Wings get their goal to make it 3-1.
The Red Wings play 6:45 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Welcome back here on WSGW. Art Lewis Show for this Friday morning. Heading back to the phones, we're going to go up to West Branch and talk to Perry this morning. Perry, good morning to you.
Good morning. Hey. Hello.
Hello. Go ahead.
Hey, can you hear me now?
I got you loud and clear.
All right, I'm up in the Ogemaw Hills here. Long-time listener, first caller.
Glad to have you.
Yeah, hey. Who I'd like to hear on the radio is Brian Kilmeade.
Bro, I'm not familiar with him.
He was on Fox and Friends in the morning for many years, and I don't know, he must be on vacation now or something. But he was on there with Steve Ducey and Earhart in the mornings.
I'll have to look him up. I'm not familiar with him. I'll have to look him up.
Brian Kilmeade. He used to have a show on the radio that I used to listen to from a Mount Pleasant station.
Oh.
And I like listening to him because he gets all worked up. He gets a little blizzard and starts stuttering. And
yeah.
In fact, I have him on a VHS tape from 25, 30 years ago where he was a commentator on the first UFC Ultimate Fight.
Oh my goodness!
He was a commentator on UFC 1. That's the first time I ever
that
saw
goes
him.
way
Was
back.
right there. That's a long time ago. Yeah,
I'll have to look him up.
Since then.
I'll have to look him up,
Yeah.
Barry, and see what we can find. But I appreciate the call.
Yeah.
Hey, don't be a
All
stranger.
right, you have a good day.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Yep.
And we're going to go up to Sebowing now, and we'll talk to Betty, who's in Sebowing. Betty, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I never pass up a chance to give my opinion.
Neither do I, but I get paid for it.
I'm an avid listener, but I've cut back since the format changed, and I just felt he was a folksy, homey guy, and not afraid to say, I don't know something. And I'd like to see him. I enjoy Dave Ramsey, but not 3 hours. I just,
Yeah, got it.
could take financial information for a certain amount of time. But I enjoy your station. I enjoy your programs.
Well, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. How's the weather in Sebowing?
It's bright and sunny, and we had just a dusting of snow last.
Yeah, well, hopefully we're beyond that for a while.
Yeah, we got piles of it piled up.
We do. All right, Betty. Well, listen, thank you for calling. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your thoughts. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Bye.
And that opens the lines for you. Give us a call as we talk about who should be filling that noon to 3 slot with the passing of Rush Limbaugh. And right now, Tom Sullivan leads the pack, and Mark Stein has quite a number of votes, too. So that's where the voting is at. Unofficial, by the way. No guarantees, folks. It's only opinion. And let's go back to our phones. Russ is in Saginaw. Russ, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Nice to talk to you again.
Same here.
I just want to say what I think many people feel, and I certainly do, and that is that I am concerned that we have no reliable, objective news source other than Art Lewis.
Well, I'm not a news source. I'm still, I'm a talk show host, which means by its very nature that it's an opinion show. If I present, if I present news, then I say it is news. This is what's happening right now. But I appreciate the thought. I know what you're saying, and I appreciate the thought. But and I do think that in our particular case, we are unique in radio these days, having a news department that's substantial, as big as most, if not most, of the news departments in Detroit, for example, because radio news departments have kind of taken a big hit for a long time. And we have a great news department with great journalists. They're not opinion makers, they're journalists. They go out, they report the news, and they do it in a factual way. And I'm proud to be associated with them. The national news scene, it's got its issues, no doubt about it. But for the most part, journalists around the country get up in the morning, they do exactly what all of us do. They put on their pants and skirts and go to work and do a reputable job. But there is certainly a very distinguishable bias in some of the national journalism, no doubt about it.
Well, that's my concern. It seems like almost all national news is biased, and that is not good to help the everyday man make a correct decision, man or woman.
Not if you only listen to one source. You got that right. But that's why I tell everybody don't get it all from one place. Get your news from a variety of sources. So, all right, Russ.
Very good. Well,
appreciate
it. Have a nice day.
You too. Thanks. And we'll stay in Saginaw and talk to Jill this morning. Jill, good morning to you.
Good morning. I just have two quick ones. We love Jim Bohannon, and of course I agree with, we go on and get the blogs and, get their shows at various times in the evening or whatever, and they were, like one caller said, they were fair. They let people talk, and then they gave their opinion. They didn't jump down their throat. So we kind of miss them. That would be awesome.
So Jim Bohannon, and who was the other one?
Tom Sullivan.
Tom Sullivan. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
Well, Bohannon won't happen because he only does his show at night, and that's the only time it happens. But I have always liked Jim Bohannon. We have Dave Maurer and I, a number of years ago, went to Washington, D.C. to broadcast our show, the morning show, from Washington. And we were using the same studios that Bohannon used. And he was there all the time. And we would stop on the way in and get donuts. And Bohannon must have had a nose for it, because the minute we walked into the studio, Bohannon would be right there, ready to grab a donut. And I had him on my show for an hour or two when I was there. I like him. Oh,
he's very fair. He's very open-minded. He'll listen to you, and so it would be great if the show was redone the next day and played the block. But those are just my opinions.
Yep, that's opinion. Glad to have your opinion. Thank you. Yeah. Take care.
Great.
Bye-bye,
Love
Jill.
your show.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye now. And we had another caller off air who voted for Dave Ramsey, so we will write that one down. Add another vote for Dave. Had a message for Judy Mark Stein, she says, so I'll mark her down for Mark Stein. And we appreciate it. So anyway, the one, and Dave sent me a note too, that needs to be taken into consideration. You'll remember last hour I was talking about the fact that, it's a business and there are business decisions have to be made, and that, a lot of it has to do with timing, because Dave reminds me, Tom Sullivan is live from 3 to 6, which is the same time Hannity is live 3 to 6. So there's no opportunity to tape delay. If one were on at morning hours, for example, you could tape delay and play it at noon, but you can't do it with them. So that does present an obstacle, but I have another vote on the message board for Tom Sullivan, who is leading the pack right now. Back to our phones, and in Millington we have John with us. John, good morning.
Morning, Art. Hey, I know I'm swimming against the current, but I would like to see somebody local, and if you won't do it, I'd like to see Bill Hobson do it.
Bill Hobson, local. Well, how about, I'll write that down. I will write that down. And no, I won't do it. So that's a preemptive strike. Okay. I'll write down Bill Hobson, though. Okay. Why not? Great. Thank you. Yeah, listen, John, that is a very interesting thought, because nobody says it has to be national. But I go back to the business side of things, and you have to look at, expenses and everything else. So it's a thought. I'll put it down that way, though. But great. I'm sure Hobson will be happy to hear that.
I'm just good. I'm just tired of hearing national politics all the time, and I'd like another perspective in the middle of the day.
Yep. I hear you. As a matter of fact,
okay, thanks.
While you mentioned it, let me just pull this up. I pulled a story. Rush was famous for a stack of stuff. We all have stacks of stuff going into the show. And this story, the headline, here is the headline. Politics is seeping into our daily life and ruining everything. I think you'd probably agree with that.
I agree.
I thought so.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, John. Appreciate the call. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep. And let's talk to Kathy and Hope before we take a break here. Kathy, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My vote is for Todd Matthews.
Todd Matthews. Okay. All right.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. You there? Yep.
I think that one of the really unique qualities about Rush was that he was so kind to people, and whether he agreed with them or thought they were crazy or not, he was so kind and honored them. And I think that Todd Matthews is kind of like that, and I think Todd Matthews is, just really loves our country, and I like him.
Okay, good deal. Thanks, Kathy. Appreciate it. Take care now.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, we're going to take a break, and then we will be back with more here on the Art Lewis Show, and lines are open for you. Give us a call. We'd love to chat with you today.
They're moving. That's right, they're moving. Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery is moving, and you are the lucky one. Right now, they have some great deals on clearance items, and if you were affected by the floods this past summer, they have some extra special deals just for you. Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery is moving. Take advantage of the great deals today at 800 South Poseyville Road in Midland and online at PremierKitchenandBathGallery.com, or call them now at 486-8585.
Avoid the crowds and skip straight to savings with RV show prices all winter long at General RV in Birch Run. Whether you shop safely in-store or online, you will save thousands with our exclusive RV show discounts and all-time low financing. Plus, we are giving you a trade-in bonus on top of your trade-in value. We've moved our most popular floor plans indoors, and we have thousands more RVs online in our virtual showroom. Save thousands with our RV show prices online and in-store at General RV in Birch Run off I-75.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/news. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural. Beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Mike, room 4 is ready to go. Like now.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Kelly, room 2 needs to be
like at Dr. Moore's dermatology practice. To keep pace with new patients, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
On the next Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins show,
you know what we do, try to make sense of it all and have some fun at the same time.
Emphasis on having fun.
Then why do you yell so much?
I don't know why.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weeknights at 7 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
Welcome back here on WSGW. We had another caller vote for Tom Sullivan, and let's go back to our phone. Somewhere in Michigan is George this morning. George, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I have a big yes for Tom Sullivan, for sure.
Okay.
I have a big no for Mark Stein, though. There's something about him just kind of too pompous for me, I guess, but not big on Mark Stein. But I do really enjoy Tom Sullivan.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
And then also, along with that, when you run in 24 for president, he'd be a great vice president of the Common Sense Party.
Yeah, when I run in 24, no, I did that once.
Yeah.
Many years ago, we did that. We did it as a joke, and I ended up with 3 votes. So
I was probably one of them.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Well, yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I'll send out the letter for the donation soon.
All right. Sounds good.
Take care, George.
Hey, have a good day. Thanks.
Yep, you too.
Yep, bye.
So let's see, if I were to run for office, I could robocall you to death, and I could send you notes and mail and email and, think about this. No, never mind. Let's talk to Gene in Bay City. Gene, good morning.
Hi there.
Hi.
Put me down for Tom Sullivan.
All right.
I enjoyed him. I have to say I'm really tired of all the political bickering. I miss the food show you guys used to have on there. I really enjoyed that.
Listen to the missus, yep.
Yeah, and after your show, I changed to a different radio station.
Well, we're glad to have you when we do. I mean, that's, listen, every listener at any moment of the day is a good listener for us, and we appreciate it.
You're welcome. My opinion of, I drive a lot, and so I have the car radio on a lot.
Yep.
But to me, your station, since they changed things, it's like the angry old men station. That's about all I have to say.
I understand it, but also you have to understand, and again, I go back to business.
Money, money, money.
These were the number, from noon to 6 were the number 1 and number 2 radio shows in the country.
Yeah, I know.
So, and Ramsey was 3. So
one question about Ramsey. Mm-hmm. It's amazing to me. Now, I'm living on my savings and Social Security. These kids call up making $100,000, $200,000 a year. They call up a radio show and say, "Can you help me with my budget?" What are they teaching in the schools? These are college graduates.
I don't have the answer for you. I've thought about that. I often thought about that. That is so interesting that you're absolutely right. I mean, you hear it all the time, and you scratch your head and you go, what have they been doing? Well, part of it is these folks coming out of college come out with serious debt. And you'll hear Ramsey talk a lot about that. I mean, the cost of education and how it's paid for today is something that needs some drastic intervention.
One quick thing. When things get back to more normal, as I've said in the past, the teenagers are going to school for about 5 hours a day. They have to change that. They should be going to school at least for 8 hours a day. They have so much energy, and they're sponges, and them going to school for only 5 hours a day is so ridiculous. But anyway, thanks for listening to all my comments, and you have a wonderful afternoon.
That's why we're here, Gene. Glad to have you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now. And that opens the lines for you here on the Art Lewis Show, 752-6111. Inside the state of Michigan, 866-790-WSGW. Outside the state, call 989-752-6111. My list is growing. I don't know if you probably can't read it, but there it is, my list. I told you I've been keeping notes. My list is growing, and I know that others are listening. But again, it's just a list. No guarantees, folks. Let's talk to Jeff in Bay City before we take another break. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Love your show.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, I might have missed this part already, but you used to have different shows on in the same time slot, one on 790, one on 100.5.
Right.
What happened to that?
We have simulcast the two signals so that they're uniform throughout the day. And in doing that, obviously, something stays and something goes. And we are not alone. As I did talk about this last hour, we are not alone. It is pretty much the wave of the future in those facilities where they have an AM and an FM station, where they can do it, where they can simulcast. They will. It's the future of AM.
If you're trying to fill that 12 o'clock time slot, and Dave Ramsey is place, in my opinion, but if you could put Tom Sullivan there, I would absolutely love Tom Sullivan.
Yeah.
He's great.
I would too. Unfortunately, he broadcasts from 3 to 6, so it's hard to do. But who knows? Maybe with the change in the structure in broadcasting with Rush's passing, that 3 to 6 is going to be attractive to some of these people who wouldn't go there otherwise. A lot of these talk show hosts would not broadcast from 12 to 3 because they're up against Rush, and it didn't make a lot of sense, So you end up with 3 to 6 time zones, time slots.
I think everybody can learn a little bit from Dave Ramsey, whether you like him or not.
Sure. All right.
Yep.
Good enough.
I love your show, Art.
I appreciate that. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye now.
You bet. Bye.
We'll take a break, come back. We'll get to Jerry in Midland when we return here on the Art Lewis Show.
Jim Wilson, are customers surprised to find such a big selection of used vehicles here at Midland Ford Lincoln?
I've had many people tell me this is the best selection of used cars and trucks they've seen in Michigan, not just in quantity, but in the quality of our vehicles.
You seem to have the cars and trucks everyone is looking for. Hard to find models you'd expect to find only in classified ads by private parties.
Our customers always have a bigger selection of better quality cars. Our minimum pricing policy means Midland Ford customers always pay less.
But better doesn't mean more expensive. You have cars and trucks in every price and payment range, even for the tightest budgets.
From inexpensive basic transportation to late model luxury and a great selection of trucks, we have what you're looking for. We currently have more tough Ford trucks and used Escapes and Explorers than we've ever had in our history.
America's falling in love with Ford, and you have a personal invitation to find out why today at Midland Ford Lincoln, your savings store.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, you can expect access to care. Just call our customer service team for the help and information you need. You can also schedule appointments for checkups or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. With Blue Cross, it's easy to get the care, tests, or treatment you need whenever you need them. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/seniorcare.
Merrill Fields Assisted Living understands that moving your loved one to a new home can be an anxious experience. Let Merrill Fields help guide you through the process smoothly. Call 989-252-7532 or visit Merrill Fields.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Back to our phones. Jerry is in Midland. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I just called. I didn't realize about the time problem with Tom Sullivan and Tom Hannity, but I'd still like to put my vote in for Tom Sullivan.
Yep, absolutely.
And I've noticed that quite a few people from the Saginaw Valley do call into him.
Yep.
So that tells me that people are listening to him.
Yep. As I said many times, I fought to keep him, but I lost. So I just have a voice, So,
yeah, we've all been there. We've all
been there, absolutely. So, all right, well, I wrote you down for Sullivan. Good.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, bye-bye now.
Bye.
And Jeff in Bay City. Jeff, good morning.
Hey, good morning. What is it, Marco, Van Camp, and Robbins?
Yep.
Would be good for Rush's time slot, and then you could bring Joe Pags back. Miss the Joe Pags show.
All right, Mark Lee, Van Camp, and
because
Robbins.
Just play a recorded version of their show, so you can never participate. And them three guys, I really enjoy their show, but I think they're already on at that noonish time, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I don't know. I would have to find out. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I will find out. I'll try and do that.
And the Joe Pag show, I missed the Joe Pag show. I was really bummed when you guys took them off the
fair enough.
The program. So all
Fair
right,
enough. We got it. Thanks.
Have a good one.
You bet.
Yep.
Bye. And Mark Lee Van Camp Robbins is live noon to 3, according to a note I just got from the station. That's an interesting choice. Actually, that really is an interesting choice. Because then, let's say we did that. Ooh, here we go. Programming from on the fly. Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins, and then everybody, the leader on the list by far and away is Tom Sullivan. We could delay him for 3 hours, put him on from 6 to 9 or 7 to 10 because of news block. Interesting. Of course, I have no say. I'm speculating off the top of my head. Joe is in Pinconning. Let's go up there and say good morning to Joe. Joe, you there? Hello.
Morning, Art.
There you are. I got you now. Good morning.
Morning. I just wanted to make a comment on the vaccine, the COVID vaccines.
Okay.
Bay County Health Department, in order to get it, when you go on their website, they have a question. They have several questions, but one of them is I will commit to wearing a mask, washing my hands, and watching my distance from others, even after I have received 2 doses of COVID-19 vaccine. Well, okay, I kind of get it, but if you commit, if you're going to be honest, you don't wear it 100% of the time. Most people don't. You go into some small businesses and they don't wear them all the time. I can go on, and I know where they're coming from, but the question is, why would they even have a question like that? I checked with Tuscola, Saginaw, Midland, Genesee, District 2, which is to the north of Fort County. None of them have such a question on there. So if you say no and be honest, they won't give you the vaccine. They'd rather have somebody unvaccinated.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no concept of that at all, because I know in Saginaw they didn't have that question.
No.
It is recommended, of course, that after you get the vaccines, you still follow the protocols. But I've not seen a question like that, and I have to wonder if they really prevent you from getting a vaccine.
They do.
If you didn't answer.
I tried, and I live in Bay County, and they says they won't give it to me.
Really?
Yes.
I'd be calling the Rite Aid and some of the others that are doing it now.
That's what I'm doing. But I just find it interesting. A health department would rather have an unvaccinated person.
Yeah, I have no idea. We'll have to see if we can get an answer. That's an interesting question.
All right. Thanks, Art.
I appreciate it. Thanks for calling. Take care.
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk to Tom in Bay City. Tom, good morning. Tom. Oh, Tom. Tom, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Ah, good. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, my question is whatever happened at Joe Pag? That's all.
Well, again, when the combination of the stations took place when we simulcast 24/7, there was only room for so many, and
okay, so that's
the
still
numbers.
going on,
The
then?
numbers did the talking. I'm sorry, what's going on? The PAG show?
Yes.
Yeah, not on our station, but Joe is still on the air. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Because he'd be a good one to fill the spot.
Yeah, well, I'll mark that down. Joe Pags. Bum. And there we go. Gotcha. All right.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot and have a great day.
You too, Tom. Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Yep. Bye.
All right, so looking at the substantial list we got, far and away, Tom Sullivan outpolled everybody. Next in line was Mark Stein, and then everybody else had a couple of votes or one vote or what have you, but a lot of names. So, yeah, we appreciate your thoughts. Let's talk to Teresa in Mount Pleasant. Teresa, good morning.
Ahoy, Tom. Long time listener. This is the way it should be. Tom Sullivan should go back at 3. I like Bill O'Reilly at noon. I like Mark Stein, Joe Pegg. For your listening audience, they can pick up Tom Sullivan at WPHM.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I kind of like their station better.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. But we got Tom Sullivan to be your number one choice.
Yep, back at 3.
Okay.
When I'm cooking dinner.
Very good.
I know. I listened to it for so many years. I
Yeah,
missed
well, you're in the same boat as my wife.
Yeah.
It was her favorite. Okay.
Yep. Thank
Take
you,
care.
sweetie.
You bet. Bye-bye, Teresa.
Bye.
And our last caller is going to be Lee in Saginaw. Lee, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I was always a big fan of Rush, but Dennis Miller reminded me a lot of him, too.
Yeah, and I wish he were still doing it. But I'll put you down. I'll put you down for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Dennis Miller and O'Reilly, I think, used to do like concerts or something like that.
Yeah, they both quit radio. So
I know it.
So
I know it.
what are you gonna do? Hey, I appreciate it.
I know.
Take
Okay,
care.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye now, Lee.
Bye.
All right, we're going to take our last break, and then we will come back and close out after these notes and promos here on WSGW.
Avoid the crowds and skip straight to savings with RV show prices all winter long at General RV in Birch Run. Whether you shop safely in-store or online, you will save thousands with our exclusive RV show discounts and all-time low financing. Plus, we are giving you a trade-in bonus on top of your trade-in value. We've moved our most popular floor plans indoors, and we have thousands more RVs online in our virtual showroom. Save thousands with our RV show prices online and in-store at General RV in Birch Run off I-75.
Do you owe back taxes? Do you know that the government is giving away billions with delinquent and unfiled taxes? With this program, you may reduce or completely eliminate what you owe. Don't wait and face the IRS alone. The IRS is one of the most powerful collection agencies in the world. If you let things go, they'll have the power to take your paycheck, your house, and your freedom. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000, you can call VersiTax and quickly get the IRS off your back. Tom called.
They got the IRS off my back and settled with payments for a fraction of what I owed.
If you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the hotline now. 800-687-9070. Call now to see if you qualify for this Fresh Start program at 800-687-9070. 800-687-9070. That's 800-687-9070. 800-687-9070.
Thanks to VersiTax, they saved my life.
800-687-9070.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
You are in can't do without it link. Don't know what I would do if you weren't there.
Rush Limbaugh, WSGW.
All right, we're back with you for about a minute here on WSGW. Our thanks for everybody calling in. Again, a big list of potentials that I've marked down. Tom Sullivan leads the list. Mark Stein right after that. Dennis Miller got quite a few. Dave Ramsey got quite a few. Everybody else got 1 or 2 votes here and there. But here's somebody. This must be Pat Johnson at the radio station. He votes for Cam Knowles. All right, well, either we have to get Cam on the bird for a national show, or he's got to come back. And that was Charlie that did that. All right. Not a bad choice, though. Cam used to do afternoons here on WSGW, now lives on the East Coast. And with that, we will head to the top of the hour, CBS News, with the national and international news. And then the local report, bring you up to date on the Great Lakes Bay region and the state of Michigan. And then I'll be back with Focus on McLaren Bay Health Heart Care. All that coming up.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kafin. The January attack at the U.S. Capitol. CBS's Jim Krasula says there's been some new fallouts.
CBS News has learned that 6 Capitol police officers have been suspended without pay, and another 35 for their roles in the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol. More disciplinary action is possible within the agency since there's an ongoing internal investigation.
Food and water are hard to come by in much of Texas. Shoppers are finding store shelves empty.
Just make the best of the situation like we always would, man. That's all we left with.
The power situation's improved, but thousands still don't have electricity, and some have been hit with energy bills in the thousands of dollars. FEMA sent generators to water plants and health facilities in Texas after all the storms. Acting Administrator Bob Fenton tells CBS This Morning.
What has me most worried is making sure that to set up a number of warming stations where people could go. So if you're cold, don't stay in your house. Go to one of the warming stations.
Pfizer is studying the effect of the COVID vaccine on pregnant women. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
This is one bad bug.
Dr. Frank Shervanak says there's no reason pregnant women shouldn't be vaccinated to avoid the risks involved.
The reality is that they're more susceptible to death, to admission to ICUs, to going into premature labor, and having all sorts of complications of pregnancy.
Even before data from the new clinical trials comes in, many of the vaccines are already clear.
Today, the U.S. rejoined the Paris climate deal. John Kerry, the Biden administration's climate point man, tells CBS News the pullout by Donald Trump cost valuable time.
The scientists told us 3 years ago we had 12 years to avert the worst consequences of climate crisis. We are now 3 years gone, so we have 9 years left.
The U.S. will resume climate aid to poorer nations. Newly released video reveals more of what happened in the minutes before police in San Clemente, California, shot and killed a 42-year-old homeless man last September. It was a jaywalking dispute, and the attorney for Kurt Reinhold's family, John Taylor, has
create the confrontation, they escalate the confrontation, they're the first person to put their hands on him, and they end up, taking his life.
Buckingham Palace confirms Prince Harry and wife Meghan will not return to any royal duties. A year after the couple indicated that's what they wanted to do, Harry will give up honorary military titles. Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 131 points. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
Spent years working, taking care of your kids, saving money, and now you're nearing retirement. Now it's your turn. You get to decide where to go next. Will your retirement include travel? Do you have a guide to help you get there? Jason and Carl Kreiderman and their team at Great Lakes Investment Advisors have helped hundreds of families create their retirement roadmap. Don't let financial limitations take you off course. Jason and Carl want you to have the retirement you've worked so hard for. They can help you create a retirement roadmap that's tailored to your lifestyle and long-term financial goals. Call Jason and Carl Kreiderman and the team at Great Lakes Investment Advisors today at 989-848-1188 and schedule a visit. 989-848. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune in to Jason and Carl Kreiderman's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Investment advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor with the state of Michigan.
When it comes to finances, does it ever feel like you're all alone with lots of questions and too few answers? Maybe it's time to find a credit union home, excited about working together with you through life, where you belong, and connect with local folks who know you as more than an account number. Before you even ask, and are passionate about your possibilities. Flexible about changing and growing right alongside you. Trustworthy, like a friend or neighbor. Belonging at Wildfire Credit Union means your money stays right in your own backyard, helping to build this community so we all live fully. If you're an individual or business looking for a place that truly cares about people, relationships, and community more than money, we welcome you to join Wildfire. You belong here. Together. Let's do this. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
It's 18 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams.
Attorneys for former Governor Rick Snyder and 8 others facing charges in the Flint water crisis are seeking to speed the production of evidence after a judge said he needs at least 4 months to inspect grand jury records. The lawyer said Thursday that the delay will hurt the defendants, who are left to languish under the specter of reputation-destroying criminal charges with virtually no avenue to challenge or assert, quote-unquote. Genesee County Chief Circuit Judge Duncan Beagle has issued an order governing how he will review and release grand jury testimony and set a status hearing for June 14th. Several mid-Michigan airports are getting a boost from Washington. Here's more from Ron Dewey at the Michigan News Network.
A $4.1 million grant announced by Congressman Dan Kildee's office being shared by 5 airports to deflect the economic turbulence of the pandemic, including costs associated with operations, personnel, cleaning, and paying down debt. Most of the grant, $2.5 million, being earmarked for Flint's Bishop International Airport, $1.5 million in Freeland, while the municipal airfields in Bay City, Saginaw, and Oscoda at the old Wordsmith base will receive $13,000 apiece. Ron Dewey, the Michigan News Network.
A snowmobile crash in Lapeer County on Monday has left one person dead. Police say 49-year-old Thomas Boyce of Dearborn Heights was riding a 2004 Arctic Cat in Mayfield Township about 6:45 p.m. He drove through a cul-de-sac and struck a tree head-on, according to police. He was taken to McLaren Lapeer Region Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. An autopsy has been scheduled to determine what factors may have led to the crash. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Are you drowning in IRS debt? There's a team of tax professionals who specialize in helping taxpayers just like you. Get ready to take down this number to take advantage of all the new IRS tax forgiveness programs. This is Sean, a truck driver from Alabama.
Prior to calling Allied Tax Relief, I was in big trouble. I owed the IRS $42,000. Wages were about to get garnished. Allied Tax Relief was amazing. They put a stop to my garnishment, and they were able to resolve all my tax issues with the IRS. You guys saved my life.
Call Allied Tax Relief now, 800-489-4408, and speak to a qualified professional who can protect you from all the added fees and negotiate your tax debts. Allied Tax Relief can open new doors with the IRS Fresh Start program that is available now. The consultation is free. The information is free. This call could save you thousands, tens of thousands. Don't hesitate. Call today. 800-489-4408. That's 800-489-4408.
WSGW News Time is 11:08. High-performing students with high financial need will get free tuition at Ferris State University. The Big Rapids School's launch program extends to first-time freshmen with at least a 3.0 grade point average and an expected family contribution of 0. Is being made possible through the Ferris Merit Grant established by the university several years ago. Ford is recalling about 154,000 vehicles as a result of airbag repairs that may not have had their right parts. Here's more from Jeff Gilbert at the Michigan News Network.
This is a smattering of models from 10 years ago or longer, but mostly the older versions of the Ford Ranger. Now, they had been recalled and fixed to replace faulty Takata airbags. Ford calling them back again because they're not sure that they had the proper parts in that first fix. No word of any injuries because of this. A second recall involves the new Bronco Sport. About 1,700 of them are being recalled because some suspension bolts could be loose or missing.
Jeff Gilbert reporting. Michigan health officials say bad weather is to blame for a shortage of COVID vaccines this week. Storms in the south wreaked havoc with the packing and sorting of the Moderna vaccine along the board. Supplies of the Pfizer vaccine have also been limited. Officials say those with appointments for a COVID shot should call ahead to make sure doses are available. The state attorney general says she's looking into a request for a substantial rate hike for gas customers at DTE. DTE is asking the Public Service Commission to approve a nearly $200 million increase in rates statewide that would hike bills by more than 11%. Dana Nessel says she's carefully looking at the request to make sure there are not any unreasonable charges. Nessel says increases in the cost of gas can have a substantial increase in a family's budget. DTE provides gas to just over 2 million residents in southeast Michigan. When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Otherwise, a mixture of clouds and sunshine as temperatures warm into the upper 20s. West-northwest winds 5 to 10. Chance for snow lingering early tonight. Cloudy skies 12 for your low. We'll have lingering clouds early Saturday, but sunshine into the afternoon, 26 for a high. 7 above Saturday night, few high clouds. Sunday, chance for snow in the afternoon hours, a high near 30 degrees, and south-southeast winds gusting in the 20s. Monday, cloud cover, high of 35 degrees. I'm staff meteorologist Mandy Thaluber with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, 25 degrees.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WS. Focus is brought to you by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
And a good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. And today we're going to focus on McLaren Bay and heart health care. What happens when you go to the hospital and you present with symptoms? We're going to find out this morning because we're going to talk to a registered nurse in the patient care services. He is the director of cardiology services. We say good morning to Roger Scrabbit. Roger, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Lewis. It is a pleasure speaking with you.
Same here, and call me Art, please. You make me feel so old. Roger, yeah.
I just want to say one thing. I'm in my office doing this, Art. And with me, I have two members of my leadership team as well, Ms. Sen, who is the cath lab supervisor, and Ms. Brittany Morley, who oversees our our stress testing area, as well as an ambulatory liaison. So I just want to recognize and let you know that those two individuals are here as well.
That's interesting. I have to tell you, because catheterization, we talk about it fairly regularly because we have one of your cardiologists on with me quite often, Eric Switterlich. Yes, and we talk about the cath a lot. So let's kind of walk people through this a little bit. And let's start with the symptoms. Somebody walks in the hospital, maybe they're suffering from chest pain. Either they walked in or they're brought there by an ambulance. What's the first thing that happens?
When someone presents, well, it's two different pathways. So when someone walks in with chest pain, our priority is to do an EKG, an electrocardiogram. That is the key to the whole. Is suffering from an acute heart attack. We call it a STEMI, an ST elevation myocardial infarction. If someone is suffering from that, it will show up on that echocardiogram. So that is the key. Our goal is to have that done less than 10 minutes. Internally, we like to have that done within 5 minutes of arrival. So first and foremost, you walk in and say you have chest pain, everything stops until that EKG is complete.
So how is it different if I arrive by ambulance? Because they've already done the EKG.
Right, they've done the EKG. So what our emergency physicians have empowered our pre-hospital paramedics and EMTs to do is how to interpret that EKG. So when they call in and say they're on their way with a patient that called because they were complaining of chest pain, they can somewhat have the authority to diagnose activate the cath lab even sooner before they arrive.
And we should also point out that not all chest pain is heart related, is it? And I can say that for sure because I was a victim of it. I had many years ago what I thought was a heart attack. I mean, I had the pressure in the chest and the pain and everything.
Sure.
And it turned out I had my gallbladder removed right after that.
Right.
So,
yeah. There are countless causes of chest pain. We like to look at the most serious cause of chest pain and then work backwards from there.
All right, so let's talk about catheterization because the cath has changed a little bit, particularly where you access to get into the body. So talk a little bit about catheterization, what it does and why we do it.
Absolutely. So cardiac catheterization, as many listeners shouldn't or may know, may have experienced or been through one, is taking the blood flow, the arteries that supply blood to the heart. So we put special catheters directly into those arteries, inject dye, and can see just exactly, are the vessels large enough? Are they narrowed in certain spots? Are they completely closed down in certain spots, as what happens with a heart attack?
And that's the same path you'd use to put in a stent, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we do a diagnostic, we call it diagnostic heart cath first, and if we identify an area that can be fixed, we switch gears mid-procedure, add a couple pieces of equipment, a couple medications, and insert the stent right then and there.
All right, hang on. I got to take a break. We'll come back and talk more about it with our friends from McLaren Bay here on Focus. We'll be back after these notes.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. The heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
O'Reilly. This is Sarah's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
Driving cross country with 2 young children is ambitious, to say the least. Then our check engine light came on. We pulled into O'Reilly Auto Parts and they tested it. Turned out it was a faulty sensor. They referred us to a great mechanic just down the street and we were back on the road in no time.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson Ricky LeBlanc, admitted in Massachusetts only. Sokolov, Paul J. Morgan, Winter Park, Florida. Greg Hoppy, New Jersey. Michael Bro Gonzalez, admitted Louisiana. While this firm maintains joint responsibility, most cases of this type are referred to other attorneys for principal responsibility. Mesothelioma. If you know what mesothelioma is, you or someone you love has likely been affected by this devastating cancer. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Sokolov Law today. 1-800-578-2400. The only known cause of mesothelioma is asbestos exposure. Thousands of U.S. veterans and trade workers are at risk for the disease. Nearly $30 billion in court-ordered trusts has been set aside to pay money to asbestos victims. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call now. You may be able to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Call for a free legal consultation at 1-800-578-2400. That's 1-800-578-2400. 1-800-578-2400.
30-day supply of Super Beets Chews, plus a free 30-day supply of Super Grapes with your first purchase when you shop at getsuperbeets.com/sky. That's getsuperbeets.com/sky.
Kick it left wing, Wagner shoots a three, knocks it down. Oh, Franz Wagner with an even 20.
It's Michigan basketball live Sunday afternoon at 12:30 as the number 3 Wolverines visit number 4 Ohio State. Sponsored by Forward Energy on 790 News Radio WSGW.
This is the Stone Specialist Studios, 100.5 News Radio WSGW, 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you, talking to folks from McLaren Bay about heart catheterization. So, Roger, let's set up a scenario here. I walk into the hospital, I present with chest pains, Within 5 to 10 minutes, I get the EKG. It comes back with an abnormality. So you slot me into a catheterization lab. What happens then? Who's in that lab with me when I go in that lab? Who's doing this?
Sure. So once that diagnosis is made, the emergency department physician notifies the operator, an overhead page goes out, and it's called a Dr. Hart. That alerts, so Monday through Friday, that alerts the cath lab staff that are here to clear a table. After hours, that sends out a page to the cath lab staff who have 30 minutes to respond. So once they get that page or they hear that overhead page, they know that it's time to get busy. So,
and what's that staff made up of?
And that staff, well, of course, there's a cardiologist there. He's the bus driver. He's in charge. And I say he, all our cardiologists are males right now. Then we have one registered cardiovascular invasive specialist, a tech person that is extremely competent in handling the equipment, and they are the scrub role. They stand next to the physician and control equipment and help with equipment. There's a radiology tech who operates, it's all x-ray equipment, it's specialized x-ray equipment, but is a radiology technologist that operates that equipment. Then there's a registered nurse for medications, and then depending on, so we have a 4-person call team. That fourth person is the monitor person who does documentation and runs for equipment that might not be in the room and so on and so forth. So, and that fourth person can be any one of the other 3 specialties, but the team is made up of 4 people.
And correct me if I'm wrong, most of the invasive procedure goes through the wrist now?
It does. At McLaren Bay, nationally, that's about 50%, but at McLaren Bay, we're up to 90% of all our heart caths are done through the wrist.
So the need for anesthesiology?
Is, we call it moderate sedation, and it's simply sedation like for a colonoscopy or some other minor procedures that the nurse administers. The physician controls that and gives those orders verbally for medications like Versed, morphine, and so on. So we don't put our patients to sleep. I don't think any cath lab does. So anesthesia is really not involved. Sometimes there's patient participation required. Take a deep breath here, or how are you feeling now? So we really don't like our patients to be completely unconscious. We need them a little bit alert and a little bit cooperative.
How long have you been doing interventional catheterizations?
McLaren Bay has been doing interventional catheterizations since 1989.
Wow.
And we are about 500,000th case. So sometime this spring we'll achieve that milestone.
And I guess, the question on anybody's mind who presents and has chest pain and is suffering through a heart attack, what's the rate of success?
For our door-to-balloon, we call it door-to-balloon, we are 95% successful in opening that vessel. On occasion, the patient may require surgery. There may be more going on than just that one occluded artery. So we are extremely... Now, that doesn't always translate back to how well the patient does. If someone had chest pain for 3 days and they were reluctant to come to the hospital for whatever reason, especially some of the things that we've been experiencing over the last year, damage can be done, and that doesn't get reversed. So
well,
we can open that blood vessel, but the damage that was caused by it can last forever.
So how has COVID changed the way we treat these things? Has it?
Well, it really hasn't. In March, when all of this started, I think there was a reluctance of people to come to the hospital. They would think that if they came, I'm not sure what a myriad of reasons why they wouldn't come. But our approach to it's always been the same. Now, we all have PPE, the correct PPE, and we treat everyone that doesn't have a COVID test as if they have it until we can prove that they don't. So the staff are in PPE, and so a little bit more PPE than normally, but a heart cath is similar to a surgical procedure, and gowns and masks and eyewear. So all those things are normally in place regardless.
So to conclude, the bottom line is, if you've got chest pain, don't wait.
Do not wait.
Do not wait.
There are so many things that can be done, and we have so many processes in place to limit the effects of a heart attack that it's very important that you not wait. And don't feel embarrassed that if we tell you that your chest pain was not related to your heart.
No, I was relieved. I wasn't embarrassed.
Exactly.
I was relieved. Well, listen. Go ahead.
I just want to say one thing. Also, thank you. Dr. Sweterlich is a very prominent member of our staff here. He's a good friend of mine, and I appreciate the efforts that he puts forward on his Saturdays. I look forward to those. So thank you for doing those as well.
You're more than welcome. Eric's a friend of mine, too, and we love both he and Val and respect them greatly. Raj, thanks for spending some time with us. We'll have to do this again.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Have a great day. Thank you.
You as well.
Bye-bye now. Focus on McLaren Bay and heart catheterization. We appreciate their time this morning. We'll take our last break, be back to close out, and head off to the world of the marketplace and stocks. All ahead.
While we've been staying safe at home, scientists have been on a journey. The destination, a COVID-19 vaccine. This journey began decades ago with research into other coronaviruses. Scientists built from there with months of research and development, cooperation with other experts worldwide, and clinical trials on tens of thousands of volunteers of diverse race, age, and health status. They arrived at a safe, effective vaccine, and hundreds of thousands in Michigan have already been vaccinated. But the next step is ours. We need to get the vaccine when we can. Keep wearing masks correctly and taking precautions until we reach our destination, freedom from COVID-19 and getting back to the lives we love. Yourself at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Jim Wilson, we've heard people talk about your volume discount pricing. Just what does that mean? How does it save me money on a new Ford Escape or an F-Series truck?
We try to sell our cars and trucks for as little as possible, not as much as possible.
You're saying volume sales spread your overhead costs and profit over more vehicles?
We'd rather sell 1,000 vehicles at $100 profit than 100 vehicles at $1,000 profit.
So that's why you have acres of new vehicles here.
That's why you'll find a bigger selection of Ford Escapes, Ford trucks, plus a complete line of Ford and Lincoln vehicles.
Is it true that dealers, even from other states, buy from you because of your inventory?
I can't comment on that. However, like always, we encourage everyone to shop and get the very best price of the Ford or Lincoln of their choice, and then let us show you what real savings are.
Money, and right now you can help yourself to thousands of dollars in savings and the best possible selection at Midland Ford Lincoln, your savings store.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for a $20 gift certificate to King's Fish and More for only $10. That's right, you're getting it half off. King's Fish and More is open Tuesday through Sunday and has such an eclectic menu, you're sure to find something that you love, like the Eddie King Burger, their Southern Raised Catfish, or my personal favorites, the ribs. Do yourself a favor and head over to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
I am so ready to go back to work.
I just need a chance.
So where do I start?
MidMichiganWork.com. Moorbark is now hiring welders, machine operators, and other skilled positions. No training? No problem. Apply for Moorbark's welder training program and earn while you learn. From other local companies that are hiring and how to apply, go to MidMichiganWork.com. That's MidMichiganWork.com.
The Focus Show on WSGW, brought to you by Northeastern Paint Supply in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
All right, that'll do it for Focus for today. We thank you for joining us. We'll be back Monday with more Focus. Time now to head over to Baird & Company for our ticket tip of the day, and that's where we find Steve Anderson. Steve, good morning.
And good morning, Art. How are you doing?
We're doing all right. How are the markets doing today?
They're doing all right, too. Right now, we've got the Dow Jones Industrial Averages ahead by 147 points. That puts it at 31,640 at on 371 million shares. The Nasdaq's ahead by 100 at 13,977, and volume there is 558 million shares.
And your ticker tip for the day?
We've been talking on a relatively regular basis over the last year about how the markets are going up. And for those folks who have mutual funds or have made investments that are not in their 401k, if they've sold something like a stock and you have a profit, don't forget, there are some folks that think if I don't take it out of my account, I don't owe taxes. That's not correct. If you take a profit, you owe the tax. You have taxable income coming out of it. Also, with mutual funds, you don't really find out what they're distributing as gains, and generally until late November or December. I think some people were surprised at how successful they were. Those will be taxable, so it might be a little bit late now, but do talk to your financial advisor, talk to your tax people, so that you can make sure that you've got a plan in place so that you don't wind up with a good surprise that winds up being a bad surprise.
Yeah. And how do they get some help from you?
Well, you can call us right here at Baird & Company, where the telephone number is 790-5724, or you can find us on the web at rwbaird, that's BAIRD.com, and then look up the Saginaw branch.
Very good. Have yourself a great weekend, Steve. We'll talk to you.
I'll do my best. You do the same, sir.
Thanks. Take care now. Steve Anderson at Baird & Company with our ticket tip of the day. Farm Service 790 and 100.5 FM with Farm Director Terry Henney. We'll be along next.
Hi, this is Mary Ann from Warden Interiors of Frankenmuth. We have all been living through these challenging times and readjusting our way of doing our everyday tasks. At Warden Interiors, we remember the simpler times when you could pull into a gas station and have the attendant pump gas and clean your windows. If you long for that type of service again, it can be found at Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. From the moment you step through our front door, you will again get that all-inclusive experience. Your ideas can easily be brought to life by our knowledgeable design team and installed by our own expert installers. Whatever your dreams are, from floors to counters, ceramic to draperies or blinds, we at Warden Interiors pride ourselves on making all your home and business improvements feel like that simpler time in life. So please be sure to stop into Warden Interiors today and enjoy your all-inclusive experience, as we can help you every step of the way. Warden in Frankenmuth will help you bring it all together.
Avoid the crowds and skip straight to savings with RV show prices all winter long at General RV in Birch Run. Whether you shop safely in-store or online, you will save thousands with our exclusive RV show discounts and all-time low financing. Plus, we are giving you a trade-in bonus on top of your trade-in value. We've moved our most popular floor plans indoors, and we have thousands more RVs online in our virtual showroom. Save thousands with our RV show prices online and in-store at General RV in Birch Run off I-75.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSW online poll is about a special commission to investigate the U.S. Capitol attack following the second impeachment. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is calling for creation of a commission to, quote, investigate and report on the facts and causes relating to the January 6, 2021 domestic terrorism attack upon the United States Capitol complex, similar to the one that investigated the September 11th terrorist attacks. There are Republican lawmakers asking for a commission as well. Supporters say it's necessary to find out what happened, make sure it doesn't happen again. Oppositions say that a political commission is not necessary. The poll question for you: do you believe a special commission is necessary to investigate what happened at the U.S. Capitol on January
Radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henney and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day's going well for you, wherever you might be. It's beauty out there. Just take a look. And it actually doesn't feel all that bad either. 22 degrees at the airport. It is 20 at Radio Center. Midland has 24. Downtown Bay City is looking at 21 degrees. And we don't even have a wind chill right now. We have a south breeze. It's under 5 miles per hour. Midland, you've got a calm wind out there. And here at Radio Center, we don't have any wind at all. Plenty of sun, nice warm sun, which is usually about this time of the year when you don't have too much of a wind. It can be 18, 20, 22 degrees. And you've actually got some melting going on. And that's exactly what we have. There's some water out there. Be advised, though, a little bit later on this afternoon, things are going to get a little bit colder. So where you see water right now, you could very easily see a little bit of snow and a little bit of ice occurring. Speaking of seeing a little bit of snow over on the west side of the state, there are some weather advisories going on, probably starting right around Highway 94 as it approaches the Indiana boundary up to just about to the Traverse City area. There are some winter advisories up. 2 to 5 inches of snow is likely as we go through the afternoon because they are seeing a little bit of a breeze, and it is coming out of the southwest and out of the west. So lake effect type activity is what's happening right there. We do have breaks in the clouds, but widespread sun is not a part of our weather scene here as of noon. The majority of the state is under clouds, some thicker than other. But like I said, we do have that band of snow showers, snow flurry activity. So if you're going to be traveling over in that part of the state, be advised, especially if you're taking 94 and heading toward the Chicago area. Usually you get west of Kalamazoo. That's where you start to run into some problems. And once again, you very possibly could. Overnight, we still had a handful of cities that were below zero, but for the most part, not nearly as bad. I did notice that the Grayling-Gaylord area was looking at right around 4 to 6 below zero overnight. A little bit of snow. East Tawas picked up about 2.5 inches of snow. West Branch picked up almost 2 inches. But other than that, and across the northern reaches of the lower peninsula, it was quite common to see a trace up to maybe about an inch. So this morning, it was a smeary drive in for most folks, a little bit on the slick side as well. More so the further southeast you got in the lower peninsula. But as we go through the day today, we're going to enjoy some sun for a while. Clouds will be kicking in again as we go into the late afternoon hours. A little bit of light snow here and there, but that's going to be it. Mostly clear skies tonight, at least partly cloudy skies anyway. Our temperature is going to reflect a little bit of a warming trend because we'll see a west breeze right around 5 to 10 miles per hour tonight. The chances of snow will still be around. Again, lake effect type activity. 13 is going to be our low tonight. Sun will set this evening at 6:13, rise tomorrow morning at 7:27. And then during the day tomorrow, a mix of clouds and sun, more so in the way of sun. 28 for a high tomorrow, just like it will be today. A little bit cooler tomorrow night. We'll drop down to right around 5. That's because we have a high pressure system that's going to be dominating our weather like it is right now for the remainder of the day today and tomorrow. Tomorrow night, that high will clear things out. We'll be looking at a low of 5. Low pressure system over North Dakota. Later on tomorrow afternoon, we'll drop down into Iowa by Sunday morning. And then as we go through the day on Sunday, that low is going to be tracking from Iowa all the way over across northern Illinois, northern Indiana, Ohio, to New York State by Monday morning. And as a result, what we're going to see is we're going to see a pretty good chance of seeing some snow. Now on Sunday, our high temperature will be 30 degrees. We're only going to drop down to about 26, 27 degrees for a low on Sunday night, and that's when the snow is going to kick in. Right now, it appears as though very little, if any, chance of any liquid precipitation, contrary to what we had thought a couple of days ago, where there might be a little rain mix. If there is going to be any precipitation like that, it will be mostly in Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, as that low pressure system will have a warm front ahead of it, but that warm front is not going to get really very far into Michigan at all. Still some snow showers around on Monday morning, mostly cloudy skies, 34, 35, 36 degrees, not out of the question for Monday. Monday night, cloudy skies, 32 for a low, so very mild. Tuesday, Wednesday, temperatures hovering around the 40-degree mark with very little, if any, chance of precipitation. It looks as though the moisture-free forecast is going to continue into the day on Thursday. We'll see a little bit more in the way of clouds, though, on Wednesday afternoon and on Thursday. Thursday will cool down just a little bit, 32 degrees for a high then. What's average? 33 in the afternoon, 18 at night. Record high in this day, set about 5 years ago, 59 degrees. The record low, 9 below zero. That was set, back in 1978 and tied in 2015. A year ago, our high was 27, our low was 15, and we had a trace of snow. Incidentally, a year ago for the snow season, we had just under 32 inches of snow officially at MBS International Airport. This year, we are at 27.4. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. We'll take a look at the markets and see how we're going to finish off the week. Gary Kaufman from Star of the West will be joining us in a moment. But this reminder, the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Tri-County Equipment. Hey, you can run with some pretty good savings right now at Tri-County Equipment. When we're talking subcompact tractors, utility tractors, that sort of thing. I mean, we're talking the 3023E, the 1023E, the 1025R, the 3025E, all of them 0% for up to 60 months. And you do have some cashback savings as well available to you. Check them out today. Stop by any of the Tri-County Equipment locations and get your best price now on the subcompact tractor and utility tractor lineup from John Deere. Remember, when you're talking John Deere and Michigan's Thumb, as well as Saginaw, Reese, and Birch Run, you are talking Tri-County Equipment, working harder, doing more. We say good morning to Gary Kaufman. Gary, how's things looking right now?
Well, good morning there, Terry. Kind of a mixed bag here. We got corn and wheat retreating a little bit, and we got some positives in the soybean market. So with that being said, currently, Terry, let's call cash wheat down 6 at 627 on the white, 592 on the red. New crop down 4 at 616 on the white, 581 on the red. Cash corn currently down a nickel at 510. New crop actually up 2, Terry, at 411. Cash soybeans up a nickel at 1340, and new crop, let's call it up 7 at 1128.
And the reason why the markets are doing what they're doing?
Well, you know, we had yesterday the USDA Ag Outlook conference came out with some of their guesstimations for acres here this spring, and they penciled in 92 million acres of corn. With that was kind of just below the range. People think it's a little bit light. The range was 91.5 to 94.7 million acres. And history kind of tells us that they usually underestimate planting intentions by almost 2 million acres on corn. So time will tell. But on the beans, they had about 90 million acres. What the trade was estimated 89.4. So, and then the beans are positive this morning, led by oil. Oil seems to be booming today. So beans are kind of following that market a little bit. And the uncertainty of all the weather issues in Brazil, with the delayed harvesting going on, which is going to delay the safrinha corn planting, which kind of, just kind of a domino effect there. So with that uncertainty, you got beans up this morning. And so other than that, we'll watch weather and demand, and we'll see, on the wheat arena, it'll be more about as the wheat comes out of dormancy here in the next 30 to 45 days, Terry, and how much damage was done with the severe cold temperatures in some of the southern plain states as well. So
that is really going to be a wild card down there because, quite frankly, they haven't seen anything like this in several years.
No, they're expecting significant losses in not only Texas, which Texas has been on the national news all week here this week, but Oklahoma too is they're expecting some severe losses in that state as well. But that'll be a thing to come. And of course, as we turn the calendar pretty soon here to March, we got some big reports coming up in March as well. So
boy, we sure do. Gary, you have a good weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
All right. Thanks, Terry. You too.
Take care. A little bit more in depth. Let's go over to Oppenheimer with Doug Klein. The market report brought to you by the folks at Schaefer and Beerline, this area's certified ag dealer. Make a new Ram commercial truck a part of your everyday use for family, farm, and business today from Schaefer and Beerline since 1852. Where family and service sells cars. And by the folks at PC Ag Solutions, the Winter Agronomy Coffee Series has really been well attended so far. They've got one more big session that's going to be next Tuesday, February the 23rd, at the Stang Farm Shop in the Turner area. You'll have a discussion of technology and agronomy while you sip on coffee with the neighbors. No set agenda, no time limit, just lively discussion about what worked last year, what didn't, and what you want to try in the future. So you're going to have the opportunity to listen, learn, and share at the Winter Agronomy Coffee Series final meeting. It's going to be next Tuesday, as I said, February the 23rd at the Stang Farm Shop in Turner. RSVP is required, so just give the office a call of PC Ag Solutions at 868-4444. Doug Klein, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Not too bad. What a way to finish the week off, huh?
Wow.
Hi.
Copper hit a 9-year high today, 409. That's the highest it's been, like I said, 9 years. The British pound, hit a 3-year high today, so they're really suffering. They're in a big time recession. They can't keep their currency down. Unlike us, we just keep printing. That keeps the currency nice and low. November soybeans missed their high by a penny, and December corn did get a new high. So there's very few sellers in that market right now. John Deere had their earnings. They were all-time record. Their franchise went up $9 billion today. They just can't keep tractors and combines in stock, even though they're $1 million for a combine.
Oh.
Just put your order in.
Yep.
We'll cover you sometime this fall.
Take a number.
Holy. Good business to be in right now. Here's your numbers. The March corn is 543.5, down 6 3/4. December corn 460.5, up 1 1/4 cents. The March soybeans 1378 3/4, up 3 3/4. November soybeans 1193.5, up 7 cents. The March wheat 655 3/4, down 6 3/4, and July wheat is 645 3/4, down 4 cents. Crude oil seems to have stopped. It's 59.73, down 80 cents. Heating oil is 179.01, down 1 1/4 cents. Gasoline is 189 3/4, down up a penny. and natural gas is $3.01. That's up 3.25 cents. Canadian dollar, the U.S. dollar can only get you $1.26 at the border. That's down 77 ticks. The yen is at 105.57. That's down 9 ticks. The euro is at 121.35, up 47 ticks. The dollar is at 90.23. That's down 35.9 ticks. Gold's at 1782.30, up $8.90. Silver's 27.53, up 45.25 cents. Platinum's at 1305.90. That's up 31.20.
All righty. Have a good weekend, Doug.
Okay. Yep, you too.
We'll talk to you again. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. When we return, we're going to talk about what the weather and the virus have done when it comes to transportation of agricultural crops. Everybody is pretty well assuming that this virus situation has really hurt us, and it has. But the weather and where the transportation delays are occurring, it's kind of surprising. We'll talk about that with Eric Pfeiffer from the Michigan Ag Today right after these.
Have you been waiting for your bank to respond about getting a second round PPP loan? Hi, this is Jared Fisher, ag lender at Thumb Bank and Trust, to let you know that you are never too small for us. Many small businesses and farmers feel like they have been left behind during this unprecedented crisis. At Thumb Bank and Trust, we have made it our mission to stand up for business customers that need our help to make payroll, pay everyday expenses, and keep their doors open. We have worked hard for our customers, and as a community bank who cares deeply about our communities that we serve, we will help anyone in this time of need, whether you're a customer or not. We see people every day that have invested in their community, seeking the American dream, only to be confronted with the worst pandemic in over 100 years. If you need a partner during this extremely difficult time to help you get through it, give us a call. Call the Thumb Bank branch nearest you and see what it feels like to have a bank that cares. With offices in Pigeon, Cass City, Caseville, Bad Axe, and Bay City, where we have been community strong for over 125 years, an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Cover more ground and get more savings on the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick. Gas-powered with a top speed of 40 miles per hour and best-in-class acceleration and handling with cargo, all backed by a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty. Get the Sidekick now for 0 down, 0% APR for 60 months or save up to $1,750 now through February 28th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. Get a great deal on Kubota utility tractors. Our powerful, versatile lineup is built to do it all. So whether you need to mow, rake, stack, lift, or pull, get it done right with a Kubota utility tractor. Right now, get a Kubota utility tractor for 0 down and 0% APR plus save up to $1,000 now through March 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
See Kim Weiss at Lingle Equipment, 3001 Sawyer Drive along I-75 at the M81 Carroll exit, just south of the Zilwaukee Bridge, Saginaw. Call Kim today at 989-754-7801 or email at k.weiss@lingle1.com.
Here's Eric Pfeiffer.
Mike Steenhoek, Executive Director of the Soy Transportation Coalition, says the need to clear snow and ice from rail tracks is an obvious disruption, but less obvious?
Trains rely on an air braking system to operate, and when you have severe cold temperatures, the efficacy of that air braking system is diminished. And so what railroads are forced to do is shorten the length of those trains. So you'll have fewer freight cars for a given unit. And so you'll maintain the same number of locomotives, but then you're having fewer rail cars, freight cars. And so that just makes the system less efficient.
Steenhoek says they're also seeing ice conditions impact certain segments of the inland waterway system, limiting the width of barge flotillas. So how could all of this impact you, the farmer?
It can have an impact on the price farmers receive at point of sale. If all of a sudden an elevator is not able to move product out their back door, because of weather-related transportation challenges, they're going to be less willing to accept product via their front door. So what they often do is they'll send a message to farmers that we can't handle your deliveries, so we will drop the price or the bid that we're willing to pay for a bushel of any given commodity.
One area that is being hit especially hard right now?
The Pacific Northwest, where we have a lot of freight rail that's connected from the Midwest and Plain states to the Pacific Northwest, the Portland, Oregon, the Seattle, Washington area. That's our number 2 export region for soybeans, number 1 export region for wheat.
Steenhoek is hopeful that this extreme weather won't last and the ag transportation system won't be gummed up for much longer.
Another person that will be pretty happy when all this severe weather is gone by, Chuck Cervinsky over at Maple Hill Nursery in Midland. Chuck, a lot of folks have had to do quite a bit of shoveling, and it's not like this is a heavy, wet snow. But folks are putting that snow maybe in some spots that they shouldn't be.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of snow being piled on plants, which is, a little bit of snow on them is not going to be a big deal. But when you start piling a lot on, it can become a problem, especially with the warm temperatures we've got coming in next week. We're going to start seeing some thawing. And even though the snow doesn't look bad on some plants right now, once it starts to thaw, it becomes heavier and starts weighting them down, and that can cause some damage.
Now, some folks, they have a path beaten on the sidewalk. They haven't been able to scrape that stuff off, so they're going to be putting some salt down to try to get it to melt. That presents another problem, doesn't it?
Definitely. If you put salt down and don't put it down too heavy, it's not bad. But when you start dumping it on, and then, as it melts down, you don't shovel it off, what happens is when it starts to melt, it goes into the flower beds and onto your lawn, and it can burn the grass. So it's or the plants for that matter. And especially if you pick it up with a snowblower, after you have another snow, you disperse it even farther. So it's best that after it starts to melt, you get out there with a shovel and scrape it off right away.
And the best chemical to use, the best stuff to use for getting rid of ice, what would it be, Chuck?
Calcium chloride works real good. Mag chloride works even better. It's a little bit safer. Some of the other ones, Pelledow is a real popular one. But with any of them, you're going to want to make sure that you remove as much of it as you can off, especially the residue. After it melts off and it's laying on the sidewalk, get out there with a broom and sweep it off so you don't get an excessive amount going into where your plants are.
Great information. Chuck Cervinsky, you have a nice weekend, okay?
You too. Thank you.
All righty.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Back at 12:30 with an update, but now we join radio stations all across the country by playing our national anthem.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage. I'm Steve Kathan. Problems persist in the Lone Star State.
No one's delivering. Stores are cleaned out.
Food and water